Good morning. It is February 11th, 2025, and I am so excited to welcome you back to our next round of Taco Tuesday presentations here at WiLS. I'm particularly stoked because we have a great mix of um, brand new vendors and longtime WiLS vendors here today. So that's an awesome mix for today's sessions. So to get us started, here is a quick preview of who's going to be presenting today. And for those of you who might be new attendees, please feel free to throw any questions that you might have into the chat window. I can see a couple of people have already posted greetings there. That's fantastic. I'll be keeping an eye on that and letting our presenters know if they've got questions. All right, I promised to keep my intro short, and I feel like I'm already failing at that, so I'm going to stop talking and stop sharing my screen and turn things over to Michaela, who is joining us from brand new WiLS vendor Craft and Hobby. Michaela, you ready to take over?
Thank you, Jeff. We go ahead and share. Wonderful. Well, we are so excited to be here at Craft and Hobby. We are a new vendor with WiLS, and we wanted to introduce ourselves. Craft and Hobby, to start, is an instructional video platform designed specifically for libraries. So we are aiming to help patrons connect with their passions by offering the largest on-demand catalog of classes and instructional articles in the craft and hobby space. Um, there's millions of makers in the US: painting, knitting, crochet, woodworking, the list goes on and on. And with Craft and Hobby, you have the opportunity to serve diverse makers in your community by giving them unlimited access to 9+ online learning libraries, over 5,000 hours of content, and that's across 20 different creative disciplines. All of our content we film in-house, so it is family safe and accessible for all ages. And we are consistently uploading new content too. So there's always something fresh on the site for you and your patrons. We do have classes that range from beginner to advanced. So your makers are covered, whether they are looking to dive into a new hobby or they've been doing something for years and they want to level up. I always like to show our home site. This is what your patrons would see after they log in. We do offer 4 different connection options. The most popular by far is barcode. We also have 2 referral link options. So we can do it based on your IP address and give folks access within the library so they don't have to even log in. Or we can do a referral link on your site where you authenticate and then they go to our site. And then the last option is with Open Athens. If you're an Open Athens user, really easy to plug in that way too. Everything is organized by category on the home site. So we have your traditional handicrafts like sewing, knitting, crochet, but we also have some things like fitness for hobbyists, cake decorating, woodworking, outdoor photography. And we also have our premier brand, Craftsy and Craftsy en Espanol. All of Craftsy en Espanol is taught in Spanish, of course, but we do have Spanish subtitles on all of our videos. And Craftsy, I always like, if you're familiar with Craftsy, or if you're not, it's just broader with range of content. So this is where you'll find some of your classes like Fun for Kids. These classes are taught by kids for kids, or they are designed specifically for kids projects. These are great for programming inside the library, especially during those summer programs, whenever you're looking for more ideas to keep the kids busy. We also have some more niche categories like gardening, home decor, and a lot of our cooking classes would be found in here as well. Everything is on demand, and when you subscribe, you have access to all classes. So as you can see, just in Craftsy alone, we have 1,200 classes in Craftsy, and with each category, there's hundreds of classes. I always like to show woodworking for an example. We have our content topics on the side for these categories. So if you're interested in finishing your furniture, we have those classes there. You can narrow it down to those classes and your folks can find what they're looking for that way. And of course, we have the handy search bar here. So you can type in a keyword, um, type in gardening, and it will show you those classes that apply. And each month we send out ideas for programming. Virtual programs are popular with a lot of our libraries too. So we're always trying to give you guys good ideas of like low lift, easy to do programs in the library. I have a few previews here. The first is cookie decorating season by season with Ann Yorks. Ann is a cookie artist and she makes beautiful cookies. Through showing you with her royal icing techniques. And with each class, I always like to show as well, we have a downloadable PDF. So this is everything you'll need for the class. With this class, you have all of your materials, all of your icing colors with the Chef Master brand. She denotes that just in case you want to be like straight on same colors with your cookies, as well as your recipes for your cookies, cutters and stencils. And then with this class, she includes some templates too. So if you're doing the winter cookies, you can do a knit sweater and everybody can do different knit stitches and individualize their cookies. I'll go ahead and play a quick preview.
The sweet thing about decorated cookies is they're always in season. Welcome to Cookie Decorating Season by Season. I'm Ann Yorks. You'll be inspired and empowered to decorate no matter the time of year. You'll find useful templates and recipes in the downloadable materials. So now, let's kick off our cookie decorating year.
Another class that we're seeing a lot of our libraries using this week with Valentine's Day coming up is the Flower Kitchen with Carly Cylinder. Carly is a lovely flower artist and she teaches you how to put together beautiful bouquets in your own kitchen.
I'm Carly Cylinder. I'm a floral designer to the stars, and I'm here to prove that you don't have to be a celebrity to surround yourself with beautiful blooms. I call myself the flower chef because I approach floral design like a recipe, step by step and with the flexibility to add a dash of your own taste. It's all about expressing what you're like, so express yourself. I want to show you that floral design is easy, accessible, and approachable, even in your own kitchen.
And as you can see, these are all project-based, so you can do a tablescape, you can do a spiral bouquet. So each of these are about 9 to 15 minutes long, so they're really fun, easy classes to follow along with. And of course, you have those bonus materials down below. And we do include transcripts of all of our classes as well. So once you start a session, that transcript will pop up. We also have one of our Wisconsin instructors here, Susan B. Anderson. She is wonderful knitter, and this is a great startup library class where you can learn how to customize your very own socks.
Welcome to my first Taupe Socks. I'm Susan B. Anderson. I love knitting socks and I hope you will too. These comfy socks with their easily customized fit are fun and easy to make. Step by step, I'll share techniques that are perfect for Taupe sock knitting in either a fingering weight or a thicker worsted weight yarn on either double pointed or magic loop. If you're already comfortable with knit, purl, and working in the round, this is the perfect class to help you step into sock knitting. I live in Madison, Wisconsin, and I teach knitting all over the US. I also blog, design patterns. I have a couple other craftsy classes, and I've written more than a couple of books. We begin class by choosing your yarn, sock size, and getting you ready to knit. Next, we'll create an invisible seam with Judy's Magic Cast On. After that, we move on to the toe increase, and we'll check the gauge to make sure your socks will fit. I'll also show you a couple of options for creating texture. My favorite part of Taupe socks is the afterthought heel. Think of it as a placeholder that you'll return to later. Then onto the leg, and that's another place you can customize to your taste. After that, add your choice of cuff and then bind off in a stretchy Russian style. Then it's time for the big finale, the heel. We'll remove the placeholder yarn, pick up stitches, and work the heel decreases. The techniques and options I'll give you here are perfect for beginners. It's simply a fun way to make a great fitting sock. Let's get started.
And with our startup library, we also have fitness classes from beginner to advanced. And this is one of my favorite yoga classes with Koya Webb. Koya is an yoga instructor, and she takes folks through a class that is great for beginners, intermediate, and advanced yogis. Our Get Healthy UTV category is wonderful because we not only have yoga, but we also have HIIT classes, ballet bar classes. We also include ballroom dancing classes. This has actually been a big hit with some of our libraries as a programming idea. One of our libraries in Manchester, Connecticut has actually started doing a ballroom dancing series. So they have done the salsa and the cha-cha so far, and they do it with their senior group. So every Wednesday they come in and they do a beginner class, and they have been having a ball. And it has actually grown that group. So they are really having a great time with it. It's a great way to get people in from the community into your library too. And with our classes, we also have advanced classes. So if you have folks who are advanced cake decorators and they want to try a new medium, they may have worked with fondant before, buttercream. Modeling chocolate is another great one to test out. Rachel Tufal, she is an expert pastry artist and cake designer, takes you through the steps of building your modeling chocolate decorations.
I know modeling chocolate can be a little scary at the start, but with some guidance, you'll be melting, seizing, kneading, and coloring your way to a whole new world of delicious design possibilities.
Mastering in Minutes, a new series of video tutorials designed to help you up your game in less than 30 minutes.
It may seem intimidating, but in some ways, modeling chocolate is really simple.
You can dive right in using stuff you already own. That means minimal planning, lots more learning, and tons more making. That's Mastering in Minutes.
What I love about modeling chocolate is it just gives you so much depth and dimension to your decorating.
And with Craft and Hobby, we do offer live events. Typically, we have a couple every week, and this is up on our top bar. You can always find this live event folder. When you subscribe, we do send out a newsletter that highlights all of our live events each month, so you know what's coming up. We have one coming up on the 18th, crochet and knitting class, and your patrons, whenever it is live, they can ask questions, and the instructors are very happy to chat with them and answer any questions they may have. And of course, all the patterns are downloadable on this page so folks can be ready. They know exactly what they need for the class if they want to follow along. And we always record our classes too. So we always have our latest one up on the screen here, but you can always scroll down and find all the live events and go back and take those classes. And I am happy to answer any questions if anyone has any questions. This is my contact information. Feel free to reach out. I'd be happy to show you anything else on site and get you guys anything you may need. Thank you.
Thank you, Michaela. I'm so excited to be welcoming Craft and Hobby to the WiLS family of vendor partners. I think it's an area that we absolutely can use some extra resources for our members on. I know it's something that they're looking for, so I'm super excited to see where we go from here. Thank you so much for joining us.
Yeah, thank you so much.
So I'll say again, if anyone has questions or anything for Michaela, feel free to put them into the chat. You'll also have the opportunity to reach out because we'll have her and all of our presenters' contact information after. So, all right, let's get set up. Oh, I can see that Andrea is ready to go. So we are going to switch over to our next presenter, Andrea Bloom, coming to us from ConnectWell. Andrea, looks like you're all set. You ready to take over?
Great. Thanks so much, Jeff, and really excited to be here. We're also a relatively new vendor partner and excited to share with you how your libraries can support health literacy and community health with ConnectWell Health and Wellness Database and accompanied programs. So currently there is a healthcare gap and a low health literacy rate. I'm sure you've seen this in the news over and over that the healthcare system is struggling to provide adequate care for our population that is experiencing both a mental and physical health decline. More people say they're not taking care of their health because of high healthcare costs and a lack of information. And only 12% of US adults have proficient health literacy. So there's a lot of work we can do together. So when people don't get health information from either their healthcare provider, their health plan, their health system, which is quite common that they don't easily share information, where do people go? Well, they go to the internet to search. And as librarians, you all know the risk of using the internet for searching health information, but a lot of times the end user doesn't really understand that it's mostly advertising driven. And if they type in back pain, they might get 1 billion results, but they're going to focus on the first page of results. And so it leaves them with a very limited range of health information, misleading and confusing health information, medical advertising. All of a sudden, all these people are sending you advertisements for your back problems and a traceable health-related browsing history. Another threat is use of AI for health information, which has even more serious ramifications than just using the internet, because AI just scrapes information off the internet, whether or not it's accurate, if it's current, or it's substantiated. So again, it leaves people vulnerable to misdiagnosis, misleading health information, and exposure of personal health information. Currently, there's a major policy taking place with the new administration. So no longer are US health agencies a source of objective health information, uncensored health information, or comprehensive health information. I'm going to take you over to this article that is February 3rd, and it was all over the news about the US health websites needing to comply with the executive order. So many items were stripped from the CDC and the NIH websites to comply with this order. And so no longer can people really go to these agencies that were previously very comprehensive. So the library has a role to fill in this gap with health information, health literacy, and health engagement. People are more likely to visit a library than a doctor, and libraries are so accessible. And some people don't have access to computers or the internet, so they'll go to the library for that, and then they can search and find health information. Librarians are often asked to help people find medical information, health information, even help people get onto their portal on their phone, and people have trouble doing that. And libraries are becoming just a very robust community resource for deploying a wide range of health programs, including blood pressure checks, health seminars, support groups, nutrition, meditation, exercise, telehealth kiosks. So I'm going to take you over to this article here that shows a wide range of different programs being deployed at the library, whether it be nutrition or blood pressure or exercise and health education. And so libraries are not only an information resource, they're a great programming resource. So let's get into ConnectWell. So ConnectWell is a health and wellness database that is designed for a consumer audience, where complex medical information and care guidelines are transformed into easy to understand segments. We pay for a license to incorporate Mayo Clinic's health content inside of our platform. There is no advertising, and we also have University of California TV programming. We fill in the gaps with our exclusive content. So we write standards of care guideline content utilizing trusted sources of health institutions, including American Diabetes Association, American Heart Association, American Academy of Pediatrics. We do source from the CDC and the U.S. Preventive Services Task Force. However, if and when the CDC doesn't have the information we need on vaccines, we will find it from other trusted independent health nonprofits. We also have a wide range of content on lifestyle. 70% of preventative illness is related to unhealthy lifestyle. So I will be showing you a brief demo on that. And we include a healthy recipe collection that embeds nutrition education. So food is medicine, or food can be disease, and that's why we include this healthy recipe collection. We do incorporate Google Translate, so it can be available to people who are non-English speakers, and we have subtitles in our UCTV videos. So ConnectWell is an all-in-one digital health and wellness information resource where patrons can search in a safe place through the library website. Everything is science-based, expertly vetted, current, and it includes in-depth and wide-ranging coverage of 95% of health conditions and wellness practices. We have these 3 areas: the Health Information Library, which includes health conditions, wellness initiatives, lifestyle practices, and our healthy recipe collection. But again, we are more than a health and wellness database. We provide extensive support, training, and marketing communications. Each month we come out with a monthly staff newsletter that incorporates ideas for how to engage patrons in the ConnectWell database and ready-made programs. Each month we have a health focus with a detailed template on a specific health topic for your libraries to use in library communications, and to run a ready-made health event on that topic. We have 18 wellness challenges, which are turnkey programs that help patrons adopt healthy lifestyle habits. These are 5-week programs that we train library staff how to deploy to create these longer term programs that really help people improve their lifestyle. And we have a full calendar of direct to patron virtual programs led by a ConnectWell team member for you to easily populate on your calendars. So you can see ConnectWell is a valuable resource across library service areas. The first place people think is electronic resources, but think broader than that. Think adult services, the youth librarian. We have lots of content for children and teens. We have a wide range of programming to weave into your the wealth of your programming at your library. Maybe you have a telehealth space, or you have a library experience lead, or volunteer services, or someone who works with community resources. So think about how your library is structured and what are the various areas that ConnectWell can support. Everyone always needs to consider funding. So clearly the funding can come from electronic resources, but think beyond that, because ConnectWell is kept up to date and is current. If you have a book on heart disease, probably a year later, it won't be current anymore because there's new developments in heart disease. So licensing ConnectWell can enable you to narrow your print collections, and that's where you can get some of your budget. Think about events, because we have so many events and programs, and that they can help support the budget for this. And then also your community partners, like your senior centers, your local health department, your school district, and there's lots of grants available. It's very easy to integrate ConnectWell with your library. We create a unique link for every library customer that you just plug in, and it auto-populates beautifully on your website. And so now I'm going to get into a demo of ConnectWell. So here we are on Mead Public Library, our first WiLS customer to subscribe to ConnectWell. And I'm just going to go right over here into the ConnectWell site. So we have our health information library, and I'm going to scroll down slowly here so you can see we have over 41 collections of health conditions. It's very visual, very easy to use, and you can find what you're looking for and just click. There's another way to search, and it's to type in the keyword. If you don't know exactly, if your doctor says you have a certain health condition and you don't know if it's in, if it's a heart condition or kidney, you can just type it in. I want to point out that we have children children's health, we have teen health, women's health, men's health, sexual health. There's no censoring here. There's transgender issues. There's, women's health, gynecological care, reproductive care. It's up to the patron to know what they're looking for. And again, this is not limited. Another thing I want to point out is we also have exercise programs here, so people can do exercise classes at home, and also the library could run a fun program. This one's really cute if you wanted to get the kids' energy out before doing story time. You can run this and everyone can do Zumba together. So that's just an example of our programming. And we also have meditations. By the way, everything works great on the phone. So if people would like to use this from their phone and run an audio meditation, that's great. But I just want to jump into one category to show you what it looks like. So here we're going into diabetes. So we have 50 pieces of content here. We're starting at the top with an overview and breaking it down into diabetes prevention tips, symptoms, metabolic syndrome, pre-diabetes, gestational diabetes, which is diabetes during pregnancy. So you can see the wide coverage here. And I'm going to pop into an article so you can see what pre-diabetes looks like. So you can see this is an article that we've incorporated from the Mayo Clinic platform. And it's a very nice organized read, giving your overview, your symptoms. By the way, it's written at a 7th grade reading level, and all health terms are explained in plain text. This is important to know your risk factors, what may be leading you to pre-diabetes. Here we have complications, and this is so important, the prevention, and all of this is lifestyle related. And then we get into diagnosis, because your doctor will send you to get a test, and it could be one of these 3 tests. And now you know if you have an A1C test, what your results would be and why maybe you have been diagnosed with pre-diabetes. And what I really like here is it goes into the different treatments, and they always start with lifestyle, and then we get up with the medication as the last thing to do. And then alternative medicine, and this is really great. So some sites say create a list of questions. Well, if you never had the condition, how would you even know what questions to ask? Well, here are the questions to help you make the most of your 10-minute appointment with your doctor. I want to show you what a video looks like. So this comes from University of California TV. This is a doctor who's from UC San Francisco, and he goes into an explanation of pre-diabetes and those different tests. And what we're doing is we're bringing the experts to the end user and end user language. So you'll end up spending more time with the doctors here than your own, and then you'll really be informed on your health. So I just want to show you here how you can find pre-diabetes content also. So you could just type it there, and then it will show you the results that have pre-diabetes in it. So again, this is wide-ranging coverage of all sorts of health conditions, and it's just so helpful. We use this all the time in our own family. Now I want to jump into the wellness initiatives section. This section was developed exclusive for ConnectWell with our scientific advisory board. This is when you go to your doctor and your doctor says, lose weight, exercise more, manage your stress, and make sure you get enough sleep. Well, that is so easy to say. It is so hard to do. So the wellness initiatives break down the adoption of healthy lifestyle practice into smaller steps. So right now we're in the sleep initiative. I'm just going to scroll through so you can see the wide range of articles and videos on this topic. And let's take a look. Okay, so we have the sleep requirements for adults, and this comes from the National Sleep Foundation. And maybe you're getting 8 hours of sleep, but you're just not feeling well, because after you read these questions, you're like, there's still something wrong with my sleep. So you might want to go down here. These are related links to help you go to the next step. So maybe you need to work on your sleep routine and think about it. And this gives you tips to get that regular sleep routine. And then maybe you need to focus on a bedtime preparation. You know, when we have little kids, we have bedtime preparation. As adults, we need that too, to create the routines to get ourselves set up for a good night of sleep. And I just wanted to show you that we focus on families. This is not just adult content. There's a lot of content for children and families. And as we know, if our kids aren't sleeping well, no one's sleeping well in the house. And it's hard to get that sleep routine down for the different age groups. And you can see that we have different articles for those different ages. And right when you think you've got sleep down, then you have teenagers, and everything, you know, gets turned upside down again. And this article kind of explains that rhythm shifts for the teenagers. So wanted to show you that. Again, it's very extensive across a range of lifestyle habits. And we also have maternal health here, preparing for pregnancy, wellness during pregnancy, and thrive postpartum. Now I wanted to jump into our third collection, which is our healthy recipe collection. Again, food can be medicine or food can be illness, and that's why we have this here. So we're right now in the salads, and I'm just going to show you what one looks like. So we actually teach nutrition education inside our recipes. So you can see here that we're learning how to source. Where can I find barley? And we also suggest when to buy organic when there's heavy pesticide use. So if you there's the dirty dozen and the clean 15, which we explain in our healthy eating initiative, and we've woven that here because peppers are part of the dirty dozen. So we're trying to help people learn and reduce their pesticide exposure, which can cause cancer. We teach interesting nutrition facts about barley. So why is barley so special? Well, we explain it. So people will learn all interesting nutrition facts that will help them increase their nutrition knowledge and at the same time improve their health. We always include how to make something even healthier and how to replace, because a lot of people have food restrictions or food preferences. So you could replace with feta cheese, replace the feta with tofu to make it vegan or dairy. So that's a brief demo of ConnectWell, and I just want to pop over to one of our other customers, Avon Lake Public Library in Ohio, to show you how they profile our virtual events that we provide. You can see how beautifully they've done this. This is a program on heart health, 101 lifestyle tips for a healthy heart. And we create the calendar. People populate it in their library events calendars so that we have these 4 programs a month on ConnectWell. And thank you very much. I wanted to leave my contact information here so that you can reach out to us and we can begin supporting you and this wonderful health and wellness database and programs.
Thank you so much, Andrea. Another really exciting product coming to our WiLS members. And I agree, it has never been more important to have this kind of information accessible to our library patrons. So I really appreciate you joining us as a vendor partner and joining us today for Taco Tuesday. All right, so I am going to quickly pivot us to our next presenter. Joining us is we've got several people, I think Jessica and Liz coming to us from Sphero. So I have stopped sharing my screen. That should empower Jessica to take over.
There we go.
There we go. All right, I'm going to be quiet and let Jessica take us away.
I'll be quick. Hi, everybody. I'm Jessica. I was a teacher for 15 years in Manchester School District, where Michaela does ballroom dancing, which is so crazy. And so just for all my media specialists out there, I was a library media specialist and tech integration specialist. I started makerspaces. I was a technology department head. And while I was teaching, I traveled all over the world, meeting wonderful people like yourselves, learning how to integrate technology effectively throughout classrooms and libraries. And now I am, as of last month, Sphero's implementation specialist. I am joined today with Liz Langer, who is the elementary STEM coordinator and library media specialist at the Turner School, to talk about all things Sphero. You might have heard of us. And we specialize in pre-K to 12 robotics and STEM offerings that provide hands-on and immersive learning experiences that are entertaining and educational to ignite that lifelong passion for learning. And for those of you who might not know what we offer, first, I'm just going to quickly talk to you about Indy, our robot for our youngest learners. It's an adorable, I'm going to have one in my hand. It's an adorable, tough little car-shaped robot that introduces young learners to coding fundamentals without ever needing to touch a tablet or a screen or an app to navigate it. If you look on the bottom of Indy, it has a little color sensor, and you just lay it down on colored tiles on the floor, and Indy reads the colors or the commands as they drive over it. If you want to see some examples on how to implement all of these things, I will show them to you later, but because we're on a time constraint, I'm going to keep moving on. We also have little bits. I cannot articulate to you enough how little bits are my heart. When I say to people, you don't have to be an architect to build with Legos, and with little bits, you don't need to be an engineer to build a circuit. So basically, if you look at my hand right now, this is a bit. This is a power bit. You start with a bit, and they are magnetic bits that come together to create a circuit. They're foolproof, they're accessible to all learners, and they're open to endless creations to really empower your students to be inventors, not just consumers. And these are, yes, all student and teacher creations from my district, which are so exciting. We're probably most known at Sphero for our round programmable robot, the Bolt Plus. 3 ways: by drawing on an interface, by dragging and dropping block coding, or by text-based coding, or programming like JavaScript or Python. And the students can really program some nifty stuff. We've got a really great LCD screen. You can drive Bolt in the middle of a program. Each Bolt has multiple infrared sensors so that they can use infrared signals and program more complex things while they're bolts are talking to each other. It's incredible. And then we have the Rover, our all-terrain robot. And Rover uses the same programming options as Bolt, and it can be used at the elementary level, but it offers that expandability through high school and beyond. You can connect it to a microbit, a Raspberry Pi, and you can also use Rover in conjunction with Blueprint, which is why we're here today and why Liz is here. So what is Blueprint? Blueprint is the perfect fit for your intro to STEM or your intro to engineering class or your makerspace or library in general. It is an approachable and scalable engineering system designed for middle and high school students. And each kit comes with mechanical parts and electrical bits that allow students to build and design and power working prototypes. It's epic. So really, you can use Blueprint to help your students understand simple machines, gears, structural design, and basic circuits and power sources. Now, I'm going to say this again. Blueprint is targeted to middle and high school students. And Liz is actually going to come on and unmute right now because she's going to take the stage and share with us how she's successfully implemented Blueprint with 4th and 5th graders. So I'm going to start by asking Liz some questions. Liz, can you tell us about how did you first learn about Blueprint?
Well, I am so excited to be here to talk about Blueprint because I knew it was going to be a hit when I was introduced to it, but I didn't know that it was going to be like this huge grand slam for my 4th and 5th graders. And I'll get back to that in a minute. But a couple of years ago, I was at Slate and Jake Seeley was there, and I went to one of his presentations, and he put us in groups and gave us this Blueprint kit, and we worked together, we collaborated together. I got to know everybody, and it was just amazing. And I actually went home because I won a free kit. And I right away saw the possibilities for my 4th and 5th graders because I am the STEM coordinator for early childhood through 5th grade at my district. And I took it back to our IT director, and we must have messed around with it for like half a day. And we saw the possibilities because it fits seamlessly with our 4th and 5th grade next gen science standards. It is in our computer science standards, our ITL standards with engineering, technology. And I have to say that my library plan at Beloit Turner drives our STEM program. And because my library plan I need to create an environment for creation, collaboration, exploration, I am able to use my common school funds to support this wonderful opportunity for our students.
This is awesome. Liz, can you tell us how, if a person wants to start like a library media specialist wants to start with Blueprint, where would you suggest that they go look first?
They need to go to Sphero Central because I am just blown away by the wealth of knowledge there. I just say it's my support. Starting with the teacher guide has objectives, it has standards, it has what you need, and there's steps for the teacher. Everything is right there. It's a big support system for you as a teacher. You don't really need to do it. You just go through the teacher guide. It's awesome. And then they have lesson slides. And I'm going to say all of this is done in Google, so I can tweak anything. I make copies of it and I make it adaptable for my students. Now, the lesson slides, again, they are for 6th through 10th graders, really. But because I have 4th and 5th graders, I make a copy and I take out some of those calculation things that are way over my head, right? So it'd be over my 4th and 5th graders' heads too. But the lessons are just it's step by step. And because my STEM program, it's a teacher-led STEM program. I am creating the lessons. The teachers are going into the STEM lab and they are delivering the lessons. There needs to be no questions. It needs to be step by step. Those lesson slides are there for you and they're amazing.
And in addition, so you're saying for every lesson, there's a teacher guide, a lesson guide, and now what else?
And a student handout. The student handout has vocabulary for the students. And I'm going to use an example of the inclined plane lesson. The inclined plane, like they have you build the model, but then the student handout has suggestions like, okay, how about making it taller, making it shorter? But they don't stop there. They actually go ahead and they ask you questions and follow-up discussion questions. And you can put this into your Google Classroom and students can work on it in the Google Classroom too. And it just doesn't tell them what to do. I love the follow-up. And there's actually extensions to like modify this in a real world situation. And it's just very thorough.
Finally, each lesson comes with build instructions. Can you tell us about that?
Yeah, the build instructions, and you're going to watch it right here. It starts out with the model. It tells you the parts, and I always have the students lay the parts out just like that, but this is on a Chromebook or on the iPad. And what I like about it is you can manipulate that product, that model, all different angles. Because when I was working with the adults back at Jake's presentation, like it would show you to put something together, but I'd have to go back and we'd have to manipulate it because I didn't know where it went. I mean, everything is just so user-friendly. The kids love this.
I'm going to ask you another question, Liz. Tell us how you specifically tailor the Blueprint lessons to work with 4th and 5th graders.
So one thing I do is like, I look at the lesson slides. And the very first lesson I did was gears. I was able to put that lesson into like Google Vids, and it created a Google video geared at 4th and 5th grade to introduce students to gears. Now, again, with my STEM program, it's teacher led. I need the teachers to have zero issues going in. I need them to feel confident step by step. And that's why those lesson slides and the teacher guide is such a supportive, it's just so supportive. And I need students for the first lessons to know the expectations of the care and the keeping of the Blueprint parts. So we go step by step in that Blueprint bin, looking at all the parts and letting the students get in there and use those parts.
Oh my goodness. Would you say that this has been successful for your 4th and 5th graders?
Oh my God, look at their faces. As I said, I didn't know how big of a hit this was going to be, but I have parents emailing me, asking me about this, and I have parents emailing teachers who then email me. And then I made the big mistake of putting it on Facebook, and I got even more emails asking me about the kids. But another great part is that the special ed teachers are they're coming into the classroom with their students, and the students are so focused and they're so energized about it. They're actually bringing the kiddos back in without the class too to use it. And I just have to make sure, there's playtime, but it's not play. You always, when you come to the STEM lab, you have to have a purpose. So, and Sphero Blueprint with all their resources on the website makes it purposeful.
Do you have any plans of how you want to utilize Blueprint next with your 4th and 5th graders?
So Blueprint has this thing called the electrical bits, and I have a kit, and I'm not sure exactly what they do, but I think those are going to be more towards my middle schoolers. So I want to meet with my middle school teachers this year or this summer, and I want to start scaffolding the lesson. So what I'm doing in 4th and 5th grade, it carries over to middle school, and they can use those electrical bits. And I also have to say, thanks to Jessica, I've ordered a little bit classroom set as well.
Oh, man.
So yep, the little bits. Yay. But yeah, so, and I also want to get more into the engineering process and things like that.
All right. Thank you so much, Liz. I have right now displaying on the screen very quickly, an overview of the grade level and what the product is that we were talking about. So please feel free. If you have more questions and you want to learn more, you can email Jake, Liz, or myself, and we would be happy to talk to you about it. So this is our information, and hopefully this was helpful for you all. And thank you for letting us be here today.
Thank you.
Thank you. Wow, what an impressive presentation, and so cool to see how like easy and effective it was to integrate into the school and to the lessons. So I'm blown away. We've had 3 fantastic presentations so far. No pressure, Tina, coming up next. No, I'm just kidding. Tina's always great too. Thank you so much, Sphero folks, for joining us and for being WiLS vendor partners. Okay, so let me just share my screen for one quick second just to get us set up for our last presenter here. And it's not, it doesn't even look right, but I'm just going to get on the screen really quick so that I can turn things over to not a new vendor partner, a long-time loyal vendor partner, Scholastic, represented here today by my friend Tina Roller. Tina, you ready to take over and show us something new?
Absolutely.
All right. It is all yours.
Awesome. So welcome everybody. Like Jeff said, we've had our programs with WiLS for quite a long time. I think I've worked with Jeff for 15 years, maybe. That's how long I've had Wisconsin. So, you know, so Scholastic offers a wide range of digital programs for you to share with your students, and content area that's going to support the educators, whether you are in a school setting or a public library setting. So educators need time and resources. So we know that our digital programs will take your students from learning to read to reading to learn, and in a range of different things to help create lifelong reading habits. One of the biggest problems that I hear with any digital programs is that you have so many different apps and platforms that sometimes your programs get overlooked and teachers aren't utilizing them. You don't have enough time in the day. I am here to help with that, as you will not only get a subscription, but you also get me as a partner to help you with your usage and promoting it. So we have, my screen just froze up. There we go. We have our Flicks suite of programs. This includes Book Flicks for pre-K through 3rd, True Flicks for grades 3 through 6, and Science Flicks for grades 5 through 10. So this is going to take the kids from learning to read all the way to reading to learn. We also have our Watch and Learn library for grades pre-K through 3, and Scholastic Go as a general reference resource. Once you purchase one or several of the programs, you're going to get all of the components, which are going to help students discover content easily, offer unlimited reading and viewing. One of the nice things is if your whole school wants to do read one book, one school, one book, you can choose a book from Book Flicks or True Flicks, or even an article from Science Flicks, and everybody has access to that resource 24 hours a day, 7 days a week. We also have comprehension activities, and quizzes, things that the teachers can print out, with built-in resources for the educators to help make sure that the students are understanding the material, with fiction and nonfiction, science and social studies, as well as helping you build that background knowledge for all units, and meeting large and small group projects. So let's dive into BookFlix. BookFlix is pre-K through 3 and has 159 pairs of titles. So you are going to get a Weston Woods video paired with a nonfiction ebook to help inspire a love of reading and learning. Some of these are classic stories, Click, Clack, Moo, Cows That Type, paired with Let's Visit a Dairy Farm. We have Why Mosquitoes Buzz in People's Ears, Chato's Kitchen, a lot of these great stories. With hundreds of titles, selecting pairs in Spanish or English, plus learning activities, BookFlix has everything that you need to engage those young readers. It's going to help ELA students, ELL students, advanced readers, beginning readers. It can be used in many different ways. There is a read aloud and audio support that promotes literacy development. The vocabulary features are built in, where all the students have to do is click on one little thing and it's going to read aloud vocabulary and have built-in tools for them, as well as some of the learning activities. We do have step-by-step instructional lesson plans to help guide educators. On the left side of the screen, you see the suggested viewing format for BookFlix. This is the same across the board for all of our Flix programs. Taking you into TrueFlix. TrueFlix is for grades 3 through 6 and is based on the True Book series, which has been around since like 1941. TrueFlix is going to help transition those learning to read students into reading to learn, to improve their literacy skills, build content area knowledge, and cultivate critical skills. Again, this program can be used in many ways of different instruction, whether it be whole group, small group, or independent learning, as well as at home and summer school. Videos help build background knowledge, and the ebooks deepen the comprehension. The nice thing is if you have the ebook, if you have the actual physical book in your library, it is going to mirror the ebook. So everything is the same and all of the call outs are the same. We do have supplemental learning activities and step-by-step instructional lesson plans to guide educators. Again, we see over to the left that suggested viewing format that we saw in BookFlix to help build fluency for those young students. ScienceFlix is the last program in our Flix suite, and ScienceFlix focuses really on science for grades 5 and up. It's going to transform the way students access science topics, acquire scientific knowledge, and build a lasting interest in science, technology, and engineering. The videos are going to help build background knowledge and interest, as well as a main article written at 3 different reading levels and Spanish to help meet the needs of all of your students and their reading levels. Again, supplemental learning activities, project ideas, careers in science, experiments in science, and step-by-step instructional lesson plans to help guide your educators. Science Flicks was written with the next generation science standards in mind and the latest STEM thinking. It's going to provide your students with a better understanding of science, concept, and ideas throughout hands-on projects, videos, multiple text types, and more. Sorry. We see that suggested viewing format to the left. It's exactly the same. The video, again, is not a nonfiction video. It is strictly help build background knowledge. And the read it is the main article, which can be changed to 3 different reading levels. Watch and Learn Library is our newest program that we have available. It is for grades pre-K through 3, and it offers fun and educational videos that help keep young learners engaged and actively learning. The one thing I hear most from my WiLS customers is that the teachers are using Watch and Learn Library instead of going to YouTube and getting questionable ads and everything else. There's over 300 developmentally appropriate nonfiction videos that align to science and social studies curriculum and support student well-being. Like our Flicks programs and other programs, everything is the same. We do offer keyword vocabulary builders, quick comprehension checks, closed captioning like in all of our videos, downloadable think sheets, and standards alignment. And the last program is Scholastic Go, which provides reliable vetted articles and resources on core curriculum content for students, teachers, and librarians. There's over 115,000 articles, hundreds of videos and interactive media, and over 80,000 vetted websites. So this is where you're not sending the kids to Google. You're providing a website to them that's already been vetted, so it's age appropriate, content approved, and published by a credible source. We also offer our statistical reporting, where you can sign up and get monthly notifications of your reporting. If at any time you see that your statistics are not where you want them to be, I am here to assist you and make sure that everything gets back up and running and you're seeing the usage that you're happy with. So here is my contact information. I partner with WiLS to ensure that all members are getting the best pricing on both print and digital materials. If you contact me for a complimentary subscription, I can work with WiLS to get that quote added to your My WiLS portal. And there is nothing else that you have to do. WiLS and I will work together. Please contact me for a complimentary subscription, digital quote, or to learn more about discounts on print books. I'm done, Jeff.
Nina, thank you so much. What a great overview of Flicks products and just information about how we work together. It's always a pleasure to have you here on Taco Tuesday.
Taco Tuesday.
So that actually brings us to the end of our session. If you can believe it, another Taco Tuesday has come and gone. That always makes me sad to say goodbye, but never fear, we've got more Taco Tuesdays. We've got more tacos to come. So if you have any questions about anything you saw here today, please reach out to us here at WiLS. The best way always to reach us at WiLS is via email at co-op, that's C-O-O-P, co-op@wils.org. That's the cooperative purchasing service here at WiLS. You can also contact any of the vendor partners that you saw present today. If you're here live, some of their contact information was on the screen, but if you're watching this in the recording, hopefully you have seen the email, which will have everybody's contact information as well. As always, if you have any questions about WiLS Cooperative Purchasing or anything else about WiLS, please do reach out to us. Thank you again to all 4 of our presenters today, and thank you for being WiLS members and for joining us. I hope everybody has a great afternoon. It's cold, but the sun is shining here in Wisconsin, so that's always kind of a good feeling. Take care all, and we'll see you again soon. Bye.
Bye.
Thank you.